Shawty got that super thing. Hot in the sun in the south of Spain. As soon as I walk through the door, oh, my pocket started to collide. The way she jumping on that thing, got me wanna spend my money on her. She did it poppin'.
Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Welcome to our forum. We are blessed to be gathered here today to share about the topic which is the behaviorism. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone to be gathered here today, especially to our honorable panel, ladies and gentlemen. Our topic for today will be discussed by all the panel. Before the forum begins, let me introduce myself first. My name is Miss Azmi and I will be today moderator for this forum. And next, I will introduce our dedicated panel. So, at the left me, Miss Jenny Siu Yangbing, and next to her, Miss Nanyolabi Inang, and next to her, Miss Elvina Benson, and then lastly, our panel is Miss Delia Binti Kesidix. Today, we will explore two main topics, which is the influence of key thinker in behaviorism and the criticism of the philosophy, particularly in the context of educational psychology and pedagogical practice. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, behaviorism is a psychological theory that focuses on the study of observable behavior rather than internal mental process. Developed in the early 20th century, behaviorism emerged as a response to the limitation of introspective method in psychology. In the central premise of behaviorism is that all behavior are learned through interaction with the environment, primarily through conditioning. Behaviorism emphasizes that behavior can be measured and modified, making it a practical approach in various fields including education, therapy, and animal training. Nevertheless, its influence on psychology and educational practice remains significant, providing valuable insight into how behavior acquire and change. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask the opinion to our first panel, Miss Jenny. What do you think about the influence of John B. Watson on behaviorist philosophy?
So, behaviorist philosophy by John B. Watson. John B. Watson was an American psychologist who defined and publicized behaviorism, an approach to psychology that in his videos was restricted to the objective experimental study of the relation between environmental event and human behavior. Watson's behaviorism becomes the dominant psychology in the United States during the 1920s and 30s. Watson's book, Behaviorism 1920, for the general reader, is credited with interesting in entering propositional psychology, following psychological care of infant and child 1928, and his revision 1930 of behaviorism. Watson devoted himself exclusively to readers until his retirement in 1946. The early formulation of behaviorism were a relation by U.S. psychologist John B. Watson against the introspective psychologist. In behaviorism 1924, Watson writes that behaviorism claims that consciousness is neither a definable nor a usable concept, that this is merely another word for the sort of more anxious time. Watson's objective findings were processed by many developments in the history of thought, and his work demonstrates strong traits that have been emerging in biology and psychology since the late 19th century. Thus, Watson's theories to very substantive subject matter received Western support. Between the early 1920s and mid-century, the methods of behaviorism dominated U.S. psychology and had great international repercussion. Although the tests alternative to behaviorism are based on experimental data, given this alternative accommodated the objective approach by emphasizing a need for objective validation of experimentally based hypotheses. So,
Thank Thank you, Miss Jenny, for the good explanation. Based on the opinions stated by Miss Jenny, I can conclude that John B. Watson was a key figure in the development of behaviorism, emphasizing the objective study of relationship between environmental event and human behavior. His work laid the groundwork for behaviorism, which focused on observable behavior and sought to eliminate subjective elements from psychological study. So, what do you think, Ms. Namilia, about the influence of B.F. Skinner on behaviorism philosophy?
So thank you, Ms. Azmi. So I will share my knowledge of behaviorism known as E.F. Skinner. Based on Malaysia childhood education, one of the best way to teach and shaping children behavior is through observation and implementing reward and punishment method. For your information, B.F. Skinner, known for his work reinforcing and unique learning theory, specialized in shaping behavior through positive reinforcement and punishment. Before we go in any deeper, let me share a little bit information about B.F. Skinner. Bernard Frederick Skinner, or known as B.F. Skinner, is American psychology that invented behaviorism learning theory. Until this day, even in education, this theory has been used by most of educators to teach and shaping their students. In the early age of childhood education, adults can understand more about children by observing their behavior, and they can understand more about children's behavior and able to prepare a good solution for problem. For example, teacher will praise the student who got a good mark and scold students who got a low mark. In conclusion, we can see that B.F. Skinner had a huge role in theory of behavior, and its research now widely used in early childhood education to help them understand more about children's behavior. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nonelia, for the breakthrough. Based on the opinions stated by Ms. Nonelia, I can conclude that B.F. Skinner, a prominent behaviorist, is known for his theory on shaping behavior through reinforcement and punishment. His work is particularly relevant in early childhood education, where observation and application for reward and punishment methods are used to influence children's behavior. Skinner's contribution to behaviorism have had a lasting impact on educational practice, helping educators use and shape student behavior effectively. So, Ms. Elvina, what do you think about the influence Edward Thorndike on behaviorist philosophy?
Thank you, Ms. Azmi. I will share my knowledge of behaviorism known as Edward Thorndike. Edward Thorndike was a pioneering figure in the development of behaviorism, a philosophy that emphasized the study of observable behavior over intermental state. His work laid the foundation for this field through several key contributions. For your information, Edward Thorndike was an influential American psychologist best known for his work on the theory of learning and behavior. Edward Thorndike, born on August 31, 1874 and passing away on August 9, 1949. Thorndike made significant contribution to educational psychology, animal behavior, and the development of theory around learning. First, law of effect. Thorndike's most famous principle is the law of effect, which states that behavior followed by satisfying outcome are more likely to be repeated, while those followed by unpleasant outcome are less likely to recur. This principle highlights the role of reinforcement in learning and has significantly influenced later theories, including B.F. Skinner operant conditioning. The next is puzzle box experience. Thorndike conduct experiment using puzzle box to study how animals learn. He placed cat in this box and observed how they learn to escape by pressing a lever. Over time, the cats became quicker at escape, demonstrating the process of trial and error learning. Other than that, connectionism. Thorndike also developed the theory of connectionism, which posits that learning occurs through the formation of connectionism between stimuli and responses. This theory is often referred to as the original stimulus-response framework of behavioral psychology. The lastly is impact on educational psychology. Thorndike work extends beyond animal behavior to human learning, particularly in educational setting. He is often regarded as the founder of modern educational psychology, emphasizing the importance of reinforcement and practice in learning. Thorndike's contribution has had a lasting impact on psychology, shaping the way we understand learning and behavior. Is there a specific aspect of his work you're particularly interested? That's all for me, and thank you.
Thank you for the opinion, Ms. Elvina. Based on the opinion stated by Ms. Elvina, I can conclude that Edward Thorndike was a foundational figure on behaviorism, known for his research on learning and behavior. Thorndike experiment with animals, particularly his other book with cats, demonstrate trial and error learning. He also introduced the theory of connectivism, which explained learning as the information of connection between stimuli and responses. His work significantly influenced educational psychology and understanding of human learning. Next question, I want to ask Ms. Delia, what are the criticisms of behaviorism and its impact on educational psychology and pedagogical practice? Can you share the opinion with all?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Azmi. Behaviorism, a theory of learning developed primarily by psychologists like John B. Watson and B.S. Skinner. There are some criticisms that this psychology faces throughout the theory. First is the neglect of mental state. So, feeling and emotion are examples of shaping behavior. Behaviorists argue that these processes cannot be observed and studied scientifically. However, cognitive psychologists argue that internal mental processes are essential in understanding behavior and it can be studied using scientific method. Behaviorism has a great emphasis on the role of environment and factor in shaping behavior. As we know, reinforcement and punishment are important and it can influence behavior. Second is lack of consideration. Behaviorism often assumes that learning principles are universal and can be applied equally to all individuals. However, this approach can overlook individual differences in learning style, cognitive ability, and personal experience. Behaviorism is limited in its scope. It only focuses on observable behavior and ignores other aspects of human experience, such as consciousness, free will, and creativity. Lastly is ethical concern. Behaviorism has been criticized for its use of animals in research. The experiment that behaviorists did involved the use of animals to study behavior, which raised ethical concern regarding animal welfare and the generality for the finding of human. Move to the next topic, which is educational psychology. It refers to how people learn and develop in educational setting. The first impact is understanding learning processes. Educational psychology helps people understand how students learn, including cognitive processes like memory, attention, and problem solving. This knowledge informs teaching method and strategy, helping educators design instruction that aligns with how students learn the best. Second is developmental stage. It provides insight into the different stages of cognitive and emotional development. It helps teachers tailor their approaches to suit the developmental needs of students. Lastly is social and emotional learning. It aims to develop students' self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skill, and responsible decision making. And the last topic I'll talk about is pedagogical practices. It is defined as the theory and practice of teaching. There are several impacts of this topic. First impact is technology integration. The rise of digital tools and resources has transformed how educators teach and how students learn, such as learning management system, interactive whiteboard, and educational apps have transformed traditional teaching method. These tools enhance engagement, facilitate personalized learning, and provide access to a wide range of resources. Other than that is student-centered learning. It emphasizes active learning, critical thinking, and collaboration. There are a few techniques such as project-based learning, inquiry-based learning, and personalized learning plan. It aims to make students more active, participate in their education, and foster skills that are crucial in the modern world. Lastly is data-driven instruction. The availability of educational data has led to more informed and targeted teaching practices. Teachers can use data from assessment and student perform to tailor instruction to individual needs and ensure the effectiveness of their teaching. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Delia, for the opinion. Based on the opinion that stated by Ms. Delia, I can conclude that behaviorism developed by psychologists like Watson and Skinner emphasize observable behavior and the influence of environmental factors. However, it faced criticism of neglecting internal mental state, individual differences, and ethical concerned regarding animal research. Educational psychology informed by behaviorism help understanding learning process and developmental stage, allowing educators to tailor their teaching methods. It also emphasizes social and emotional learning and to develop student self-awareness and decision-making skill. Thank you for all the panel for sharing and explanation about the discussion today. In conclusion, behaviorism has made significant contribution to psychology and education. It is important to recognize its limitation. The insight from thinkers like Watson, Skinner, and Thorndike have shaped our understanding and learning, but a more comprehensive approach that considers cognitive and emotional factors is necessary for effective education. Thank you for all participating in this forum discussion. We hope it provides valuable insight into behaviorism and its implication in educational practice. We welcome any question or comment from the audience. That's all from us. Thank you.